What's up, my friend? Just on a roll here today. I'm gonna go get a smoke. Hopefully, I can get this done within one cigarette. Watch here. Pick up the transcripts too as I'm walking around. Because you, my friend, the cell phone you're being used. There's firmware, software, and a motherboard on the outside of the phone. It's pairing with my eye. Retina antenna. That your cell phone's being used, and there's very specific electrical signals taking place. But here's one that I wanted to talk about. This is how this guy used to kill people with kindness. Not even kindness, just people are kind of stupid. The more I talked, I found signals from Mars and this remote control boat. People thought I was a fucking warlock. Oh, what else? Just all this stuff. His work got taken. Shit got burned down. His work got taken. And this guy just kept advancing. This is the one that gets them all here. Yeah, I did that little antenna. Yeah, the antenna there. There's a pole there, too, for a source of water and hydrogen. But anyways, there's a couple quotes that I'm going to start out with. What was it? Is my memory here trying to get jammed. My heart rate's going up. My throat connected with my eyeball. It feels like there's an atmospheric pressure coming over this fence. Which quotes were there? Okay, the number one quote was, "You'll be able to communicate with somebody on the other side of the planet with a device that fits into your pocket." And that's the first one. What was the other quote that I cannot remember what the hell this guy said? This guy named Nikola Tesla. There's a few of them, like, all people lie, but numbers never lie. What else is the other quote? There's another important one before I get into the one when he said, "The present is theirs, but for which I truly worked for, the future is mine." That's a very, very important quote. Because number one, how did he know we're going to have a device small enough to fit in our pocket to talk to one another? And I started thinking about the semiconductor. When he invented this semiconductor, well, he would have to, because he come up with this invention called the artificial retina, where all you have to do is think, and your thoughts will be projected on the wall with this device. Projection screen. And then it brought me up to Walt Disney to kind of give it away. When he died, he says, "I'm having my body preserved, so in hopes of future technology, it will revive me." And hopefully I remember the quote as I keep going. There's another important quote that this man said, and it's really bugging. It's really bugging, and probably trying to do a transfer for virtual reality technology and bugging and stealing and surveillance and all this other shit. But it got me thinking, since he was able to come up with that and these semiconductors, and he was around all these high voltages and all this stuff. Now, it got me really thinking. Albert Einstein, we saved his brain. We saved his brain. We still have it. And if you watch this movie called The Criminal, sort of like within the first half hour of the movie, you show a dead guy, and he cut his skull off, and you can see his brain. And he started pulling all these memories out of the brain. Yeah, this guy died, and we're able to see what he saw and God only knows, because that movie was out in 2016. 2016. And they pulled the memories out of his brain. What's going on with Einstein's brain? What kind of memories we get out of there? I already heard Elon Musk quote, "You can die and we can pull the memories out of your brain." So Nikola Tesla died. Did we save his brain? Did anybody save this guy's brain, or did we only save Einstein's? How about Edison? How about General Electric? How about Steinmetz, who worked for J.P. Morgan of General Electric? General Electric, here's some bad reports going around about you right now. Westinghouse, you too. We save these guys' brains too? Because that very important quote, "The presence is theirs, but for which I truly worked for, the future is mine," said Nikola Tesla. Very courageously and very optimistic, we could call it. He spoke that quote. There's a couple other very important quotes. I'm still trying to think of one quote that he said that gives it away. So he knows what a semiconductor was. He knows there's memories. He knows, oh wow, you could just save shit right out of light. Can you guys imagine him still being around? All you Tesla nuts, and that's what you're after. It's like, he's still around. And all the shit that he knows. Because he built everything. Free energy everywhere. He invented the Tesla coil, invented the induction motor. Listen to this field. Because this is the one that bugs all the Tesla fanatics and magnet players out there. It bugs the army because they took all the shit. The FBI, Donald Trump's uncle. This really bugs the shit out of them. Where's his brain? You gonna tell me you didn't keep it? We kept Einstein's. And where's the data at? Is it going to be like the telemetry data from going to the moon? We lost it all, NASA? Look at this field. So can you imagine? Just imagine these computers, these quantum computers, or whatever type of computer it is, they're using light as memory. Because everything is light, Nikola Tesla has told the entire planet in his final interview. Which, where's the magnetic tape recording at of his voice? You're going to tell me this guy didn't use a tape recorder to record this conversation? Where are they all at? All his communications that were saved. Yes, for which I am working on. It is a revolutionary technology. It will transform the world. First time I ever heard his voice. This guy had this crazy accent. Well, can you imagine him still being here? The future is mine, for which I truly worked. And more importantly, if we got Einstein's brain, what do we put in the computers? What kind of stuff did we try to steal? Type of memories? Because I know Mr. Tesla. He used to visualize all his inventions. And then Mr. Dollar told on him. Said he used to run the machines in his head for 3 months, 4 months, just to get the rate of Berrienware. There's a lot of shit he never wrote down, huh? Uh-oh. Spaghettios. So, who died first? He was what, 43? When did Mr. Einstein pass away? We took his brain. We have his brain. Look at this shit. And these people do this with impunity behind me. Impunity. And I did hear how the federal government is working. And you don't go to a regular court, you go to FISA court. And there's these special directives people are hiding behind. These very special directives where everything is like, when you're in a black project, you can do whatever you want. Already one person lost their life back here. I'm not trying to fucking be a fucking tattletale or nothing, but there's ways of communications where from that side of the planet it could go undetected to get here and record everything. And then I did hear a very important quote from a guy that was in the think tank in Germany. Due to what he called psionics, and the definition of psionics is like a psychologist, psychopath, psyche means anything that deals with the brain, thought. And then onic, psionic, that's electronic circuitry, electronic circuitry. So brain circuitry, due to psionics, disclosure is coming faster than you think. And now we gotta figure out new policies, these robust policies, to deal with people who want to use psionics to do their bidding, to deal drugs. That's the shortest amount of wisdom I could tell you is drug dealing, is giving this away. And those who rob drug dealers, those who say they are the good guys, but they rob them. And there's a lot of shit that goes unaccounted for, huh? All you guys that got life in prison recently, I'm sure you would love to talk to me, huh? I'm pretty sure of it. It'd be pretty cool to have like Kim Kardashian visited these guys in prison. They got life sentences for something. She just went and visited them and talked to them. Imagine these guys that are running around doing the unthinkable and using communications the same way the Air Force uses them. Gotta beat the best, and that's the funny part. Now I got this Air Force base, the Army base, and there's nothing to show for it. What the fuck's going on in drug dealing? All this technology, and you're going to tell me we can't catch these fucking drug dealers? Huh? And they were stupid enough to sit in my backyard and run shit that I didn't know what was going on at the time. Program me into software, firmware, and Moore's law of DNA computing. Stupid enough. Or is it smart enough? Like, yeah, we want to get caught. And then you go tell the agencies what's going on, and it's like, you want the game plan? Here's the game plan. You go up to the agency. Did you get a COVID vaccine? Did you have to get one to continue working here? Because if you want to be in the Army, you have to have that COVID vaccine. So you put your masks on. We all listened to that. How about a year, 2 years later, a year later, they come out and said there was drones called UFOs. And we totally disregard that. And then a year later, there's another guy to come out and said, yes, I was there. There's brain cells on computer chips walking around that died in one of these drones. So how does that one get disregarded? And no, put your mask on, get this vaccine count. That is the game plan here. Prepare for it. And then how many of you asked what is in the vaccine? Because we have all these nano tunneling microscopes. We can look. What's in there? Not that I care, but why is it going like smart dust under the rug? Come on, Mr. Bill Gates. You're pretty intelligent. I seen you talking to Mr. Kerry. You're saying these people are listening to people on the internet that are talking about the university's publishings. It really, like I totally went away from. Look at this field line here. It's in a tree. In a straight line. Reflections. And these reflections are hurting a lot of people because I keep hearing a lot about it in the media. I keep hearing about it on a lot of prominent speakers. I keep hearing about it and fuck people in the hospitals. Because the issue is when you go to university to work at a hospital, you must learn this, and then you go to this patient care that's serving the public, we're performing a service for a great deal of money. All these publications can be used to make people sick, huh, Mr. Kerry? So I get your point. You're listening to, well, these publications have the ability to do that, don't they? Mr. Gates. Miss Kamala Harris. Oh my gosh. And then the gag orders. Mr. Biden, what are you going to do when you leave office? Because I can see it now. You're like, I had enough of this shit. And people just make fun of you because, well, you're not going to talk about it. You just say you only have 2 neurons left. And you can't even make sense out of those 2 neurons. And just you got these FBI papers, just like Donald Trump does. Now you're gonna get out of office. You're gonna get out of office. You got these papers. You're very old. Are you gonna do the wrong thing, or are you gonna do the right thing to say I don't remember? And this is a very serious issue because you were the sitting CEO of the country and you're saying you can't remember. And I have a computer named Ashley there for both sides to use. This is in the White House. There's 2 parties there and there's one called Ashley sitting right in the middle. And you guys are going to keep training this computer to act like invisible power lines on the ground. Because I could look up there, I see them up here. But when this shadow here, you can't see them anymore. Why is that? And all you Nikola Tesla fanatics, Albert Einstein nuts, all you telemetry hiders of data, why can't you see them power lines? I bet you Nikola Tesla could tell me. Too bad he's not here and we didn't save his brain. Well, who's in your administration there, Miss Kamala Harris? Because Mr. McCormick was walking around today and his people didn't seem to give a shit. At least in the administration getting ready to run for the Democratic side, they tell a different story. And I will honestly say that. Somebody could actually actively discuss, and they try to, where are you at in your intelligence? But whenever that intelligence exceeds theirs, like you guys that think you're on top of this pyramid, on top of me, but I'm up above the pyramid. I'm up there. I have to come back down to your level. I really do. And how do you deal with the people at the bottom of the pyramid? Drug dealers, shadow government, drug dealers. You are the shadow government, drug dealers. You guys have the power to change the planet. If these guys don't want to come out and be heroes, because when they're teleprompter fucking 3D, they're what is it? A teleprompter 3-dimensional hologram. That's these little glass mirrors. These holograms pop out. When they get broken into, interrupted, you don't know what to say. You can come out and just be the hero here, but you don't. Because this shadow government got some really cold weather modifying technologies that amplify light.